Come see all the action live when Long Island's #1 pro wrestling promotion, Fight the World Wrestling, presents Rise Against on Saturday, September 5th. In action will be wrestling legend Jake the Snake Roberts as he takes on FTW's The Rockstar. Be sure to catch all the stars of Fight the World Wrestling on Saturday, September 5th from Center Island Sports in Ronkonkoma, New York. For tickets and information, dial the number on your screen or be sure to visit our website. And don't forget, you can train to be a pro wrestler at Fight the World Wrestling. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to FTW Overdrive, the Countdown Edition. My name is Shawn Bryan, and we're getting closer and closer to FTW's next event on Saturday, September 5th at 8 p.m. when Fight the World Wrestling presents Rise Against. It'll come to you live from Center Island Sports in Ronkonkoma, New York at 101 Union Avenue. Tickets are now on sale for $15 in advance and $20 at the door. You can purchase advance tickets by going to our website, FTWProWrestling.com, by going to our MySpace page at myspace.com/FTW Wrestling, and the all-new FTW hotline by calling 516-506-1523. Once again, those are all the ways that you can get advance tickets for FTW Rise Against. Now let's talk about what you're going to see at Rise Against on September 5th. It's going to be an awesome card. In the main event, it'll be wrestling legend Jake the Snake Roberts taking on the Rockstar. These two have met before, most notably their match at Road to Gold when Jake the Snake came out victorious. However, this time, there has been an added stipulation. This will be no ordinary match. It'll be a blindfold match, which means that both competitors will have to don a blindfold and wrestle the match just like that. We know the history between these two. It started back in May of 2008 at End of the Beginning, when the Rockstar and his tag team partner Jay Lover took on Jake the Snake and the Purple People Beater, and the Rockstar fell to the Jake the Snake DDT, and he's felt disrespected and embarrassed ever since. Fast forward to Road to Gold this past April, and again, the Rockstar this time tried to get the upper hand on Jake the Snake Roberts by jumping him from the crowd. Still, it wasn't enough, as Jake the Snake was victorious. So now, the third meeting between these two, will the third time be the charm as they meet in this blindfold match? You can't afford to miss it on Saturday, September 5th at Rise Against. Also coming up at Rise Against, I have been informed by FTW officials that Balls Mahoney will defend the FTW World Heavyweight Championship. He has accepted the challenge from FTW's newest hero, Evan Courageous. We all know the history between Courageous and Big Jim Sullivan. Sullivan stole the Road to Gold contract, which contained the #1 contendership, from Evan Courageous back in April. These two met in July at Summer of Sin, with the #1 contendership once again on the line, when out of nowhere, former FTW referee Chuck Morris stormed the ring, called for the bell, and disqualified Big Jim Sullivan, therefore making Evan the winner and giving him the title shot. Evan has approached FTW officials with the request to face Balls at Rise Against for the FTW World title, and as I said, Balls has accepted. So does Evan Courageous have a chance and a shot at becoming the FTW champion? This is what he's been dreaming of since day one. Since back at Road to Gold when this all started, he is finally going to get his opportunity to take on Balls Mahoney for the FTW title. Will he be the new FTW champion? You're going to have to be there to find out. Another title will be on the line at Rise Against on September 5th, as the Nigerian Nightmares, the first ever FTW World Tag Team Champions, will defend the tag belts against Jay Lover and Tommy Buds. The Nigerian Nightmares became the first ever tag champs back at Summer of Sin when they defeated the Best Around in the finals of the FTW World Tag Team Title Tournament. Congratulations to them. Now as for Jay Lover, we know who he is. We know his history. One of the most violent and hardcore wrestlers here in Fight the World Wrestling. And Tommy Buds, we don't know that much about. We've been told by Jay Lover that Buds is an associate of his from back in the day in Brooklyn, where Jay Lover is from. we've seen Buds get involved in a few of the matches here in FTW, most notably costing Len Oddity his match against Jay Lover back at Summer of Sin. So at Rise Against, Tommy Buds will make his wrestling debut once again as Tommy and Jay Lover team up to take on the Nigerian Nightmares for the FTW World Tag Team Championship. Another huge match coming up at Rise Against. We'll see the Grim Reaper taking on Len Oddity. Now there is a lot of hatred between these two. We'll take it back now to Summer of Sin. It was Balls Mahoney taking on the Grim Reaper for the FTW World title. Jay Lover was the special referee. Balls had Reaper in his own finishing move, the Chronic Crossface. When Len Oddity came out, hit Jay Lover with the chair, and then counted the submission, awarding Balls Mahoney the FTW Championship. So Len Oddity cost the Grim Reaper the FTW World title, and Reaper has been livid ever since. And this is his opportunity now to exact revenge on Len Oddity. This is not going to be pretty, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a brawl, and you don't want to miss it. The Grim Reaper and Len Oddity at Rise Against, September the 5th, from Center Island Sports in Ronkonkoma, New York. Another match coming up at Rise Against will be the Jimmy Jack Cash Invitational Challenge. We first saw Jimmy Jack Cash in July at Summer of Sin when he fell in defeat to DJ Hyde. Now Cash has approached FTW officials stating that he wants to have this invitational challenge to sort of redeem himself and prove to the FTW fans that that was a fluke and that he is here in FTW and he means business. So who will accept Jimmy Jack Cash's challenge at Rise Against? Will it be someone on the FTW roster? Will it be somebody new? You're going to have to be there to find out on September the 5th. Also coming up at Rise Against, you will see Earl Cooter taking on Spiral. It should be quite a matchup. These are two guys here in FTW that really need a victory. Both of them have been kind of down on their luck, and this should be an extremely well-contested match. Another match coming up at Rise Against, we'll see the debut of Chris Payne Forza as he takes on the ginormous Malta the Damager. Forza is a newcomer here in FTW. This will be his first match. He's a guy with a lot of heart, and he really wants to make a name for himself here and Fight the World Wrestling. And Malta the Damager, this guy happens to be one of the biggest, largest athletes in professional wrestling today. So will Chris Forza be able to stand up to the challenge of Malta the Damager? You're going to have to be there September the 5th at Rise Against to find out. And also, folks, coming up at Rise Against, you will see the newly formed duo of Javier and Dan Barry as they take on a brand new tag team in Fight the World Wrestling, the New School Wrecking Crew. We first saw Javier and Dan Barry teaming up at Summer of Sin in this 4-way tag team match, and they were victorious. They looked quite impressive. They make quite a pairing. Their styles seem to mesh well. But they're going to have to take on a team that they're not too familiar with, and FTW fans may not be familiar with. And that is the New School Wrecking Crew. Two gigantic men that mean business. And you know that they're not going to want to be unsuccessful in their FTW debut. So we're going to see what happens on September 5th at Rise Against when these two tag teams clash in what should be an awesome matchup. Folks, this is all coming up on Saturday, September 5th from Center Island Sports at 101 Union Avenue in Ronkonkoma, New York, when FTW Wrestling presents Rise Against. Folks, I want to let you know that Center Island Sports is conveniently located near the Ronkonkoma branch of the Long Island Railroad, so be sure to check their website for scheduling info. And you can purchase tickets to this event by going to our website, ftwprowrestling.com, or our MySpace page, myspace.com/FTW Wrestling. You can also purchase tickets by calling us on the new FTW hotline, and that number is 516-506-1523. You can also purchase tickets the day of the show at the door. And folks, I want to also let you know to be on the lookout for the FTW commercial that will begin airing on Cablevision on Monday, August 31st. It's pretty cool. You actually saw it here at the beginning of the program, so be on the lookout for that. Folks, thank you for joining me here today on the countdown edition of Overdrive. We'll see you Saturday, September 5th at Rise Against. Don't forget to be there, get your tickets, and we'll see you then.